Thank you, Charlie. It is my pleasure to introduce you to another of hundreds of the patients who are affected by the Rehab Center each and every day. These are vivid examples of how your gifts make a difference and change the lives of patients, both young and old, from across Texas. My next guest is an Air Force veteran who was diagnosed with a rare autoimmune disorder. He spent 90 days in the hospital and was able to stand and walk. But West Texas Rehab Center helped him realize his goal of playing golf on that very next birthday. Watch this.
Well, I was born in near Baltimore, Maryland, raised there, and at 18 I graduated and went right into the Air Force. Traveled all over the world, and was a photojournalist and a marketing specialist for the military. So, you know, I was actively involved doing things, and ended up here in Abilene, met my beautiful wife and had a daughter and a granddaughter, and then I also worked for Social Security for 35 years. Yeah, it was about in December of 23. My wife and I, we worked out regularly, good shape, and one day I went for a walk and I just fell and wasn't sure what happened. I thought I tripped on in a hole and my legs wouldn't work. I thought I needed back surgery, and finally we just made it to the hospital, and through all their testing and everything, found out that I had Guillain-Barré syndrome, which I knew nothing about. When the doctor mentioned to me, my first reaction was, what is that? And the two things I heard from the doctor, it's treatable and recoverable. That's about all I heard. And like I said, I thank God the doctors, nurses, the PTs, OTs, everybody had a big play in my recovery, but God worked through them all. So we spent about 90 days in the hospital.
All I know is I prayed a lot. I did, I prayed a lot.
Day one with Steve was an interesting one. It was a multi-eval, so it was PT-OT combined. He was coming in a wheelchair with his wife.
I was in a wheelchair for 5 months, and I couldn't walk. I couldn't go to the bathroom by myself. I had to depend on my wife, my family.
Yeah, his big deficits were just standing up, getting able to walk a little bit further. So with Guillain-Barré, GBS, really it attacks you proximal to distal, so up high to lower, and then it comes back around the same area. So you get higher before you get lower return-wise. So I really wanted to work on hips to start off with, hips, core, really get it going, because that'll be the big driver of his walking for the first little bit. From day one, he said, I got a goal, and it's to golf on my birthday in like 3 or 4 months, whenever it was from then. And I was like, well, we'll try to get you there. But it was a big task to ask, but he did it. He made it well.
But that's what I prayed for at the beginning. I prayed that I'd be stronger than I was before, and God answered that prayer. It made me realize and appreciate the preciousness of life, and that never to take things for granted. I'm living life every day. I'm fulfilling God's purpose, and I'm going to enjoy every moment and not take things for granted. Not that I was so much doing that before, but realizing that every day is special. I would highly recommend the services here. Not only did they treat me, but they befriended me. I not only had quality 100% good treatment, but I had friends here. I made friends here, and that was special.
From Buffalo Trace, so I got my Buffalo Trace stuff here.
Well, we're talking about you were active, you worked out regularly, you were strong, and all of a sudden that was gone.
It shocked my life. It was the fact that I was just walking, and then I face planted right on the concrete. I did not expect it at all. It just changed my life immediately.
What was the thought process at that point in time of losing that ability?
Initially, I'm laying in the street. I crawl into the grass, and I'm trying to wave down people in my neighborhood, and they're waving at me. I said, no, come here. I need your help. And it was just a shock. And then from then on, we were in the hospital, and that's where it began. But it's a terrible feeling not having use of your legs that quickly.
Wow. And Linda, as his wife, the struggle, watching his struggle and not being able to do anything about it. Talk about that process.
Well, you know, that really was, it was real strange for me because he did most of the work around the house, and then I had to pick up what he
We're
couldn't
getting real
do.
now.
So it made me grow spiritually.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
really did.
It's such a helpless feeling when you can't move his feet for him, can you? Yeah. Austin, describe, this is a rare immune disorder. Talk about DBS and what causes it. How did this blindside him?
Yeah, so Guillain-Barré is still somewhat of an enigma. If you look at the literature, they commonly point to things like, oh, it's a reaction to stomach bugs, it's a reaction to vaccines, very rarely too. But what's scary about it is it just attacks out of nowhere, and it's not very predictable who can get it. And everyone recovers kind of differently.
Wow. Well, we are so grateful that you recovered fully.
I am. God bless. I'm so thankful. God answered my prayer, and so many people prayed, and he just showed himself strong, and I'm thankful for that.
And I hear that over and over again with these stories. We thank you so much for being here tonight. It is just continued to show us how important your gift is to West Texas Rehab. Are you on the golf course now?
I am on the golf course. Amen. That is right.
That's important stuff.